A discussion has, however, been raised about a potential sale of Greenland. This has clearly been rejected by Kim Kielsen, a position that I share, of course.
This week, ahead of the G7 summit in France, Donald Trump did his usual thing, throwing a tantrum and picking a fight with yet another American ally. He canceled his trip to Denmark and snubbed the country's queen, who had extended the invitation. The canceled state visit occurred after the Danish prime minister dismissed Trump's proposal to buy Greenland, an autonomous Danish territory, as absurd, because it's absurd. Trump lashed out, resorting to his favorite phrase when describing women who defy him.
No, Denmark, I looked forward to going, but I thought that the Prime Minister's statement that it was absurd, it was an absurd idea, it was nasty. I thought it was an inappropriate statement.
Joining me now is Malcolm Nance, author of The Plot to Destroy Democracy. Malcolm, it's always great to talk to you. I want to start with the Greenland. Let's talk about that first. Greenland, it was a joke to people when Donald Trump said he wanted to buy Greenland, but it's actually a very serious thing here. It's a land that has maybe like 55,000 people living on it, largely indigenous, and what the rest of it is covering, that ice is covering oil and gas, oil and coal, sorry. The island has drawn rising interest, says CNBC, due to its vast natural resources, including coal, zinc, copper, iron ore, and rare minerals. Denmark, a little bit more from CNBC, has publicly expressed concern about China's interest in Greenland, per the Pentagon. So this is not a joke. This is about exploiting yet another indigenous land.
Absolutely. And let me tell you a little something. This is not the only place in the world that people are trying to come into regions that no one has cared about for some time and exploit them. The Russians, for example, and the Chinese are in Central Africa, which, and since the 1960s, has pretty much been left alone on the global geopolitical map. But Greenland, if you look at it cynically, right, viewing global warming is finally exposing the terrain in Greenland, which allows you to exploit these minerals, especially rare earth minerals, which are used in electronics, and only China has a lock on around the world. If you do that, then of course you become a global trading, you would become a global powerhouse. Russia is exploiting the Arctic, and somehow someone had to talk with Donald Trump and said, hey, you know, Truman proposed to buy Greenland. Let's do this greatest trade deal, biggest thing since the Louisiana Purchase. You'll be a great president. We'll get all these minerals. Yeah, if every global ice cap melts, those would be available. So Donald Trump making this play, it was serious. He obviously wasn't joking at all.
Yeah.
And he thought that he could just put money on the table, the United States would buy it, and those Danish would go along with it. Or the 56,000 people in Greenland would love being the 51st state.
Yeah, and basically, right, just to exploit it. And as you said, there's a reason they don't believe in global warming and say they don't believe it, because they actually helps them to be able to uncover resources they want to extract. Let's talk about the fact that he did diss Denmark and say he's not going. We know that President Obama is going. In your view, is part of the reason he's not going because he doesn't want to be humiliated, because President Obama is going to be going and probably going to be greeted as a hero?
Well, President Obama won't be going till weeks after what was supposed to be his official state visit to Denmark. Denmark is a serious player, certainly within NATO. Most people don't realize it. They have been in Afghanistan for more than 20 years, along with us. They were in Iraq. I actually was alongside some Danish forces in Basra, Iraq. They've lost in combat action 45 men. Now, comparative to their size, that would be several thousand men if it was, you know, proportionate to the United States. They have sacrificed for this nation in defense of our American citizens. But Donald Trump takes these things personally. He is a narcissist of the highest order. And it's not about Denmark. It's about his ego.
Yeah. Let's talk about Russia really quickly. He's going to the G7. Donald Trump said this week, I won't even bother to play it, that he thinks that Russia should be in the G7. The G7 is supposed to be our allies only. Your thoughts on why he's still caping for the Kremlin?
You know, when this comes out, someday, somewhere, we are going to find out what Russia has over Donald Trump. And it is very, very clear the economic interests of Russia are equal to the economic interest of Donald Trump, which means that, you know, all of the talk that people have been having since 2016, it is very clear that Russia has been manipulating Donald Trump, has made it clear that They want him to be their advocate. He is their advocate. Julia Davis, in some reporting out of Russia, has shown that Russia itself believes that Donald Trump's going to bat for them to put them back into the G7 +1. But look, Russia is a poor nation.
Yeah.
Somebody put it that it's a trailer park with atomic bombs. They have got all the trading power of Italy. But, you know, when you're a gas station, you're selling gas, people want what you want. Donald Trump's there to do it for you because money talks for Donald Trump.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Malcolm Nance, best person to talk to on this subject. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you.